Hello, and welcome to the Quick Flick Critic, reviews and interviews. I'm your host, John SMISTAD, and these are my takes on films both new and not so, spanning a wide range of genres and tastes, plus conversations with some of the coolest people in indie entertainment. Now, let us rock with this one, shall we? My guest today on the Quick Flick Critic reviews and interviews is Nick Thompson. Nick is a filmmaker. He made a film called SKAGIT, came out in 2021. First of all, Nick, welcome to the Quick Flick Critic reviews and interviews. Pleasure to have you, sir.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
By the way, Nick are both in Western Washington State. I'm in Olympia, and Nick's in Seattle. And the movie was actually filmed in Skagit County in Northwest Washington State. We're in the Puget Sound area of Western Washington State. There is a Skagit County, a Skagit River. There's an Upper Skagit Indian tribe, hence the name Skagit. Nick, can you tell us what Skagit is about? We'll start there.
On the surface, it's about a group of friends, old friends from Seattle, who drive up for a weekend at a cabin in the Skagit Valley. But they all start to basically lose their grip on reality and drift into these sort of alternate dimensions with a mysterious tie to some force in the valley itself. So it has a pretty kind of straightforward premise, but it goes into very experimental and unexplained territory from there. It was inspired by my own life, having grown up here in Seattle and spent a lot of time in other areas of Washington, and I was always kind of vaguely familiar with the Skagit Valley as passing through it and through the mountains there, and was kind of fascinated by it, but as this place, as somewhat of an outsider, this beauty, but also this kind of bleakness and eeriness to parts of it. And so I wanted to preserve that, in the movie. It's not supposed to be like the perspective of people who are from the valley and know it well. The characters are also kind of outsiders, and the characters are inspired by a lot of the relationships I had with old friends, having grown up in the city here, in the south end of Seattle. I actually printed out a bunch of notes and cut them up and started kind of arranging them on my floor into groups. And so some scenes were very fully formed early on as these kind of dream type sequences, but then the rest of the movie gradually came together, in this pretty instinctual way.
Are you working on anything now, Nick? Have you got anything in the works or anything coming out film-wise?
Yeah, totally. I'm actually in development and fundraising right now. My next feature, which is still very Northwest focused, but is more realistic, more reality based. It's called Decade, and it's basically about these three friends, childhood friends, from Seattle in 2010, and follows them starting the graduation, after high school graduation, before they go off to college, basically over the next decade, as their relationships, fracture and reform and reshape. It's really grounded in the time and place. And so I wanted to, write something, take a very different approach to the writing process of really having a kind of strong narrative backbone to it. That's not to say that it's a complete change from Skagit. It's still going to be, very atmospheric, kind of stylized, and have some less conventional narrative elements that I think are part of kind of the story of these characters drifting. So it's more Seattle focused, but it's trying to represent kind of the Seattle that you don't often see on the screen, which is really kind of how middle-class kids growing up here saw it and experienced it.
Nick, thanks so much for being with me. I really appreciate it, sir. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And to anyone watching, hope you enjoy the movie, and please leave a review on Letterboxd or IMDb if you can, or somewhere else. It always helps.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Quick Flick Critic reviews and interviews. Now I ask that you please subscribe and be notified of my continuous new episode announcements. As always, make it a great day and make it count. Goodbye, everybody.
Aww.